Kia ora koutou, ko Angela Caves tōku ingoa, no mai haere mai. Welcome to the Central North Island Business Growth and Support Virtual Conference. My name is Angela Caves and I'm the Partnership and Events Lead with Digital Boost. It is my pleasure to be hosting you this afternoon. This is day one of our conference and we're in our last session for the day. A warm welcome to our audience who have joined us here in the webinar, and a welcome to those who might be viewing via Facebook, LinkedIn or YouTube live stream this afternoon. Thank you for tuning in to hear about the breadth of support available to the business community. On the webinar this afternoon with me, I have got my co-host from our collaborating partner organisation. I've got Briar from connected.govt.nz. Briar is going to take us through some webinar housekeeping and then introduce our guest presenters. Thanks, Briar.
Nā mihi kia koutou, ko Briar Hicklinger ho no Taumaranui Connected Service. So lovely to have you all here. For those that are joining us in the webinar, you can see and hear us, but we actually can't see or hear you. So we're encouraging you to please use the chat function and the Q&A function at the bottom middle centre of your screen there. We'll address those questions that you have towards the end of the presentation. Our sessions are recorded also. This is so you'll be able to view these. They will be uploaded to the YouTube playlist Digital Boost channel, and you'll be able to tap into those later on for a second watch. All registered attendees will be provided a link to those via email post this event. It's now my pleasure to introduce to you Miriam Rodriguez and Brooke Livingston from New Zealand Trade and Enterprise. Kia ora and welcome.
Kia ora tātou, nā mihi nui kia koutou, ko Brooke tōku ingoa. Thanks very much, Briar, for the warm introduction, and thanks, Angela, for having us today. Yeah, Miriam and I are customer advisors at NZTE, so we're basically the front line to any company that wants to engage with New Zealand Trade and Enterprise. You come through us and our team. So hopefully this is a really useful session just to kind of run people through what NZTE does, and then I'm going to hand over to Miriam and she's going to run you through our digital platform, which is just an amazing resource. So I'll share screen and we'll get into it. So yeah, as Briar said, if you've got any questions, just feel free to chuck them on the Q&A and we can circle back to that at the end. Awesome. Alrighty. Thumbs up if that's working all right. Perfect, great. So just kind of kicking off at the kind of macro view of New Zealand Trade and Enterprise. So we are a government agency. We are fully funded by the government with the mandate to help grow New Zealand companies internationally. Our purpose is to grow companies internationally bigger, better, faster for the good of New Zealand. So really with that intention that the companies that we work with would have a flow-on effect to the areas or the regions that they work in, that there would be things like job creation that would come from it, that through exporting and selling your products overseas, there would be an awesome benefit to New Zealand. So we have a purpose and direction that has been set from the government because we're a government agency. So we can't just sort of do whatever we feel like, but essentially that contributes to the overall government objective to deliver a productive, sustainable and inclusive New Zealand. So we really see ourselves as being part of that. We're a very purpose-driven organisation, and hopefully anyone who interacts with us will see that really reflected in the people that they come across. Everyone who works at NZTE is really driven by supporting the companies that we work with. We're all here to help. We really love backing and supporting New Zealand businesses and companies to grow internationally, and people are just very friendly. So I think that's an amazing part about NZTE. But yeah, that's how we contribute. Just a few key facts about us, which is always fun. I like having a bit of visual and a bit of numbers, so hopefully this resonates for other people. So we in our team, we actually, this number has gone up. So this is a little bit old, but we support 5,000 just in our own team, which is more at that light touch. And then we also support another 1,400 companies at a more intensive level. So that number is more closer to about 7,000 companies that we support with export. We also have about 1,600 companies that we support through our investment team, and that involves bringing in foreign investment to support New Zealand companies that are exporting. We have about 800 people that work for NZTE, and that's spread out around the world in about 41 international locations. So we've got offices in our key export markets. So we're really placed to be able to help companies wherever you are looking to go around the world. And often in places, those can be really small offices. It might be just 1 or 2 people co-located with places like the embassy or with MFAT. We, as I mentioned, we are funded by the government, but we've got a board that we report to, and plenty of people who make sure that we're going in the right direction. And we've also got a fully funded budget. Here's a little bit more around where our footprint is. So as you can see, these are the kind of what we call our key export market. So around New Zealand, we've got offices in the different regions, including the main centres, Auckland, Wellington, Christchurch, and Dunedin, but then also, you know, one person in Whangarei. We've got a growing office in Tauranga and Napier. We've got people in Taranaki and also in Palmerston North, which would be relevant to people on this conference today. Then, as you can see, we've got sort of 6 main regions, 7, Europe through to India, Middle East and Africa, Greater China, East Asia, Australia and the Pacific, and then North and South America. So we try to be as well covered as we can. So in terms of the support that NZTE supports companies with, essentially we've tried to provide a bit of a hybrid model. And when I say hybrid, I mean we try and provide support with our people. So people like Miriam and myself, we're here to talk and to understand your business model, your plans for international growth, but we also try to provide digital resources for our companies, which really aligns with what Digital Boost is doing here. We try and provide resources that will help you to scale up, that you can access in your own time. So Miriam's going to dive into that in a little bit, but anyone can have access to My NZTE. Just, you know, even we often get students who are doing research, they can sign up, but for companies, they need to have an NZBN number to be able to sign up as a customer of ours. So that provides some great resources, which I'll leave Miriam to explain further. You've got access to be able to speak with a customer advisor, so someone in our team that has great knowledge around export and beginning to set out into your international markets. We've got some awesome material called Export Essentials, which is to help you get started and to build your export plan. We can advise you around engagement with the investment team, and we can also reach out to our NZ colleagues, which would include people like MPI and Customs, which are really great resources if you've got questions. So if we don't know, we try and point you to the right people who do. We also categorize sort of 2 ways that we try and help companies. So providing our know-how, which is our knowledge and our experience from supporting companies over a number of years, and also the know-who, which is trying to make sure that if we can't help, we connect you to anyone in our network who can support you. And that's often calling on our international team, or even just asking them the question and providing that answer through to you. Here's a little bit more around that. Yeah, so essentially there's kind of a few areas that we try to help companies with in terms of that know-how and know-who. We really look to build your capability around export and understanding how to go about exporting. The second area is around providing insights. And then the third area is around those connections. So as you can see, that's covered in here. Here's a little bit more about our service offering. So My NZTE, again, this is really our main highlight. So you'll see that covered off a number of times, but Miriam is going to do a deep dive into that after this. Here, where we talk about market discovery and exporting basics, Miriam will show you what that is and bring that to life. So things like export essentials, which I touched on, market guides, and helping you to understand how to get started in different countries. We can also help and support you around areas such as sales and marketing and digital business. So, Digital Boost is really well placed to support with that, but we also have some great resources on My NZTE. We run webinars as well, which are typically demand-led. So it depends sort of where we're seeing the trends with our companies that we're working with. It might be pet food in Korea one week, and the next week it might be TikTok in the US. So there's different ways that you can engage with us through webinars. And then we've also got different opportunities to help boost your sales and marketing. A great resource is our Made with Care campaign, where you can leverage the materials that have been put together to help, share your kind of New Zealand-based story as you go out into the world. We've also got some awesome specialist expertise and advice that we can call upon. Some other great partners that we work with, such as Kia, really great resource when you're looking for those international connections. Again, events. So we've got webinars, but we also run in-person events in New Zealand and try to connect you to any opportunities overseas. So if you're attending a trade show, definitely let us know, and we can let you know if we're going to be there, or if we know of any other companies that are going to be there. We can support you in that way. And then investment. InvestEd, Miriam can touch on. Is on My NZTE, and this is a great resource to teach you the basics when you're thinking about raising capital or wanting to start considering investment. I touched briefly on NZ Inc. before, and so this is essentially a network of government organisations that are placed to deliver on this mandate of working towards a productive, sustainable and inclusive economy. So we've got us over here, we're helping companies to grow internationally. Then there's Callaghan, so that's the high value manufacturing sector. That's one of their focuses at the moment. And they have some awesome people that work with early startups, pre-revenue companies. There's also MB, providing foundations for economic development, MPI, and that's their focus as well. But if you have questions and you're in that kind of primary sector, they're really best placed to support you and help you with that. And then MFAT is really supporting around market access and trade. And that's it. So essentially, just wanted to reinforce those kind of key messages that I talked about. The NZTE, we're here to help. We're really here to support you as you start to export, right through to that journey of if you're already exporting, or if you're wanting further support on your journey, then reach out to us. You'll be able to speak to someone in our team, or also engage with our resources on My NZTE, which I'll hand over to Miriam and she can talk you through.
Thank you, Brooke. Now let me share my screen and show you what happens when you get to our website here. So in order to, as Brooke said, in order to become a customer of ours, you need to have to be registered with the company's office and have an NZBN number. So when you go to our website, you join My NZTE, and it's really simple. You just click here and you get to the onboarding page, and then just click here and you get started. It takes about 10 minutes to sign up, and we just require some basic information. When it comes to your email address, please make sure you use your work email address, not a personal email address, and that you also give us your job title and contact phone numbers. Once you sign up, you will be asked to select the topics and the markets that you are interested in. And this is very good because what the system does is tailors the information that it will send you. So whenever there's new articles, you will receive them right away. So now let me show you. Once you're signed in, this is what happens. Okay, we've got two main areas, which is Discover and Attend. Discover is all about information. In here, you just search. So for example, but before I continue, this is not only a website, okay? This is a depository of information that has been put together by an in-market expert and updated regularly, so you guys always have the latest and greatest information. So it is extremely valuable. One of the questions that we get the most is, where should I export? So for example, you just search here, Market Explorer, and we've got this fabulous resource. This is a tool that is used to compare demand in 13 countries and help you decide which market to enter. You'll find data on each market size and growth rate, retail landscape, and current trends. So what you do is, first you choose your sector. So for example, let's say you're a skincare company. And you get here and it gives you instructions on how to use it. Basically, it's okay. Just here, you click on a country on the map or a country's name in the table to explore in-depth data on market size and growth, subcategory sales, and percentage of sales per channel, as well as the retail landscape and general country information. So once you've done that and you've done your comparison, you can use this market comparison template to compare all the information that you're gathering. And this is a wonderful tool. Let's download it. Here we go. So what you do here is you select your markets, the markets that you are trying to compare, and then the selection factors, which can be things like time zones, whether we've got an FTA with that country, language, ease of trade, or whatever, anything that is relevant to your business. And basically here, you just give it a score from 1 to 5. And in the end, it will just give you a total. And that is a suggestion of what market you should investigate first. So this is just one of these wonderful tools. Now, once you've decided which market you're going to go to, then you can go. And let's say that you've decided on Australia. So we've got fabulous market guides. For most countries, and these are a collection of articles that tell you anything and everything that you need to know about that market. First of all, is Australia the right market? Planning your market entry to Australia, setting up operations in Australia, what you need to know about compliance and regulations, building your brand, understanding intellectual property, legal considerations, understanding tax in Australia. So you also have, like I said, you have them for many countries. For example, the UK. Here we go. Exactly the same thing, but for the UK. And this is just really, really valuable information because it comes from our in-market team. We also have information on, let's say, distributors. This is one of the most asked questions that we get. And yeah, how to go about choosing a distributor, how to evaluate them, how to work effectively with them. And yeah, understanding more than anything else. And then once you've chosen your distributor, then you need to have an agreement with them, a signed agreement. And here we've got a suggested distribution agreement template that has, of course, been written by lawyers. And it's, you can chop and change as you see fit, but it's a great base to start with. We also have information on supply chain. And especially this collection is particularly valuable. Setting up and managing your supply chain, because an effective supply chain is key to your business's success when selling overseas. And a lot of people need information on this as well. We also have, let's say, if you type freight, you get this article, which is really useful. This is like when you're just beginning and like you just don't know where to start looking. This is where you start. Another thing, another very popular topic is sustainability. And we've got a lot of information on how to be a sustainable business and how to go about it. There's a lot of sustainability stories. There's a lot of videos and a lot of help in general. Another very popular question is how to price for export. And we've got a fabulous article on that as well. It's usually a little bit faster than this, but anyway, so this is a very popular article. Now we also have the attend section, and we've got a lot of events, but as Brooke was saying, our base course is our Export Essential course. This is a course that will teach you anything and everything that you need in order to start exporting. And they are given by the likes of KPMG or Only from New Zealand, and they are absolute experts at what they do. They are mainly on Zoom, and they consist of a mixture of learning modules that you do yourself and then practical activities during the Zoom sessions. Really, really highly recommended. And the last, where is that? The dates for the next year have already been, here we go. They've already been set. And we've got a general course, and we've also got a SaaS, a specific SaaS course. Also, if you're a SaaS company, if you go back to Discover, there's a lot of information on SaaS businesses that are really, really helpful. Like, anything from basic to advanced. And of course, it covers all the regions as well. And last but not least, how do you go about marketing to your specific buyers? we've got a lot of information on what we call our buying personas. And this is a tool, how to create buyer personas to tailor your marketing. Extremely, extremely useful. Even if you are not exporting, this is very, very useful. And oh yes, one more thing in a tint, as Brooke said, we've got Invested. Which is a course that should have popped here. But it's a self-learning module that helps you put your investment pitch together and teaches you anything and everything that you need to know in order to pitch to investors. And after that, we can put you in touch with our investment team for the next steps. So that's an overview of our wonderful resource that we all absolutely love. So I hope that you do too.
That is truly incredible, ladies. That is just such an amazing website resource for our viewers. So exciting. I think I'm going to check it out after this straight away, actually. I can see that we've got some questions, so I'm just going to jump right in there with some of the questions that we've got here. Is there a cost involved in working with NZTE?
No, everything is free. All the services are free, and it's free to join as well. So please do.
Yay. Is funding available for all exporters?
Go
I
ahead.
was just going to say, I can jump in.
Go ahead, Ruth.
No, we don't have funding available when you are just signing up with us. We do have something further down the track, which is a very small proportion, and that's co-funding, which you have to generate a certain amount of revenue. So, and that's only once you've been engaging with us after a period of time and on an agreed set of activity. So essentially, I think it's best just to rule that out initially, and then as we work with you, we can advise on other people who might be useful to connect with around funding. But yeah, NZTE doesn't provide upfront cash grants.
There's certainly plenty of content on your website to get all your ducks in a row anyway, isn't there? So what is the onboarding process like?
Do you want to take that, Miriam?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. It only takes 10 minutes. And basically what we need is to gather information about you and your company, what you do. And the more information you can give us, the easier it is for us to serve you. So when you sign up, if you're eligible, you get the opportunity to book an appointment with one of us, and it's a half an hour. It's like a discovery session in which we get to know all about your business. We get to talk about, the difficulties you're having and how we can help you. And, you can just book that as soon as you onboard yourself.
That's fantastic. Thank you. And lastly, how do I get to be a Focus customer?
That's a great question. So essentially, we work with companies which we call Focus, where it's a more intensive relationship. So companies who are further ahead on their export journey, they're generating international revenue, and they are growing. And that might be that they've kind of maxed out on those initial resources that we might be able to provide them with. They've kind of gone through, they've done all that work, they've got a really robust export strategy, and they're maybe growing as a company, like in terms of the size, the people that are involved. Then we make a call on, we actually think that these people might need some more bespoke support because they're needing some kind of more tailored solutions for what they're looking for. So that's when we might determine that they need some focus support, as you've referred to it.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. So participants, if you didn't catch it, there's some links in the chat there for you. And I'm going to hand back to Angela. Thanks.
Thanks, Briar. Thank you, Brooke and Miriam, for joining us. Like Briar said, a fantastic platform there in my NZTE and support of those of you behind the scenes who are, helping our businesses start their exporting journey. So thanks again for joining us and sharing that wealth of knowledge. Connected are here supporting this conference by being part of the ecosystem of business support available. So if you're not quite ready to start your journey, or in particular your export journey, but at a later date you might come back and might have forgotten where to go, please head over to Connected. They will be able to point you in the right direction and get you teed up with the right next steps for your business and its journey. Same with Digital Boost. We are here to help support you in your journey, whether that's just starting out or whether you are looking to get into that export market. We have got a whole lot of content available on digitalboost.co.nz for you to help your digital adoption and build your digital capabilities. So please do sign up over there. Again, another free resource provided by the government. I am conscious that we have run 2 minutes over, so my apologies for that, but thank you so much for persevering with us this afternoon. It's been wonderful to host you. We'll be back tomorrow with day 2 of our conference with some of our local providers based in the Central North Island region. So you're looking at some chambers and Economic Development Agency information. So please come along to day 2 tomorrow afternoon. Other than that, I do wish you all a wonderful evening. Thank you so much again for joining us. Bye, everybody.
Thanks very much.